right, wild card weekend, absolutely insane weekend of football. I think this was the most intently I've watched football for that many days in a row in my life. So we're not done because we're filming this on Monday night. So we got a big Packers game tonight.
Packers. Something like that.
By Packers, I mean the Steelers versus the Texans. And it's kind of a meaningless game, but we'll get into that. Wild card weekend, craziest game ever. Bears pulled off the third largest comeback in NFL playoff history. So we're going to touch on that. Obviously, Andrew's pretty pumped about that. And somehow Indiana football is in the national title, and Miami is playing a home game for the national title. So we're going to touch on that too. But let's just start off right off the bat. Caleb Williams, is he him or what? Let's just give some stats. So Bears trailed 21-3 at halftime. They scored 25 points in the fourth quarter alone. Third largest fourth quarter comeback in NFL history. Bears' largest playoff comeback ever. And this is the first Bears playoff win in 15 years. Their last one was in 2010 against Seattle. You must be feeling good today. All of your things that you said against us in about week 8 is vindicated. You're on top. All three of us got a playoff victory this weekend, though.
You guys can go ahead and apologize to me and Caleb right now for everything that you guys said about him.
I'll tell you, the guy's got absolute blood in his blood in the fourth quarter, but he can't play in the first 3 quarters. He's an absolute animal in the fourth, but this guy, I've never seen so many errant passes on just random plays where I'm just like, that wasn't even close to the receiver. So I get it. He threw possibly one of the NFL's greatest throws ever on that fourth down where he literally was jumping and threw it 60 yards in the air to Odunze. So I think this guy is uber crazy talented, but his consistency is leaving Bears fans wondering if this was just a fluke win in the playoffs.
I mean, I wouldn't say it's a fluke since this is the 7th time they've done this year. He obviously has a lot to work on with accuracy on the easy throws. I saw someone say that the reason why he's so good off platform is because when he's in the pocket, he throws the ball so fucking hard that his receivers can't catch the ball. But when he's out of the pocket, he puts better touch on it, even though there's still rifles of a throw. But I mean, he obviously has some stuff to work on, but it's his second year. You know, he's still working on some things. I feel like I'd rather have him have those off-platform throws down like he does and make those crazy plays and then work on the accuracy than the other way around and have just some good accuracy and not be able to make those crazy plays. Because, I mean, he's proven that it's literally saved us in games multiple times this year. But, dude, I'm so happy. Like, this is a rivalry and a franchise turning game, beating the Packers. Ben Johnson said he loves beating the Packers twice a year, and no one thought that was going to happen until this game came up. And to speak on the issues within the first half of the game, even the first 3 quarters of this game, this has happened all year. And I like to cope and think that Ben Johnson's just playing chess while everyone's playing checkers, because I think he's just setting up the offense for the fourth quarter.
Ben Johnson, we'll get into it. Obviously, a great comeback, good motivation. He came out and said that he made everyone watch the Patriots versus Falcons 28-3 game in the preseason. There's 2 players on the team who played on either side, and they gave their firsthand account. That's what he's claiming is the reason why they're so good in these fourth quarter comebacks, because they're never out of it, which, hey, you can't argue with the guy on that. But let's not get him off the hook so quickly. Ben Johnson went for it on fourth down on the 30-yard line and didn't get it, and it just gave the Packers an easy touchdown. That's a coaching blunder that you cannot have in the playoffs. This guy, I know he thinks he's a new age coach and he needs to go for it on every single fourth down. Analytics be damned, and I don't even think the analytics said to go for it there. Ben Johnson is holding back his team right now with his terrible strategies.
Did you not see how easy it was for the Packers to score on that defense in those first 3 drives? 3 touchdowns, 3 drives. Like, Ben Johnson could see it happening. He knew that we needed points, and so they went for it. They converted a couple of them too. It just didn't work out on that one. Like, he was making the decision that he thought he needed to make as a coach, and they won the game because of his play schemes and Caleb's wonderful play, they won the game.
Yeah, and it's not mutually exclusive. I'm not saying that he doesn't draw up a great offensive game plan, but in terms of his head coaching analysis of when he should go for it and when he should not, going for it on the 30-yard line, I don't care if you can't stop the defense. You at least have to give them and play the field position game a little bit in the playoffs. Horrible call, and the Bears probably win a little bit easier if they aren't pegged behind by Ben Johnson just ruining the Bears' chances in the first half.
I mean, it's a fair point. Like going forward in minus territory is not always the best idea, but I mean, at least he's sticking to himself and doing what he knows to do as a coach. Unlike not being able to play with a lead, like a certain coach from a certain team, and playing like coaching scared. I'm talking about Matt LaFleur, obviously.
Yeah, Matt LaFleur, yes.
Obviously.
Andy, what do you have to say about this?
Yeah,
I want to hear.
I feel like that was a mistake early on in the game to be going for it in your own territory on fourth down. And they got out of it with the win. It didn't cost them, but that's what you got to learn from. Because all these coaches these days, they just overthink everything. It's like, yeah, we're not stopping the Packers. It's going to be a shootout. First of all, it's the playoffs. Teams and players get tight. You can't just expect the Packers are going to go up and down the field. You kind of put yourself in a hole in that spot. Give your defense a chance to make a stop. He's overthinking it, but I mean, on the whole, we're talking fourth quarter. Yeah, Ben Johnson's playing chess. Matt LaFleur was playing tiddlywinks. Okay,
dude, I love that game.
It was a great game, but this was embarrassing for Green Bay. I think after the game, Packers safety Javon Bullard, I think he kind of summarized things well. He said, the Bears, they didn't really do anything all that special. We just blew it, and I think that really kind of sums up
dude, get the fuck
what
out
we
of
all
here.
watched pretty well. No, Caleb, was that fourth down throw to keep the game alive? Hell of a play. I mean, fourth down, he's running to the sideline. That was awesome. He's had a bunch of these this season. I think he's come a long way from his rookie season where he took a ton of sacks. His commitment to throwing the ball away, even when he has two receivers wide open, I think is incredible. It shows his, unselfishness. And no, it was awesome to see for the Bears. Also, I just love seeing Matt LaFleur take a loss. There are so many of these uptight, insufferable coaches in the league right now who he thinks his job is as important as someone who's doing emergency surgery on stabbing victims. It's like, dude, you're wearing a headset on the sideline. You're coaching guys running really fast into each other. Like earlier in the season, they asked him, are you excited for Halloween? He said, I don't give a shit about Halloween. All I care about is win this football game. It's like, dude, you're going to lose either way. So maybe next time around, enjoy Halloween, spend some time with your family, lighten up. I think this guy's a stiff.
Meanwhile, Ben Johnson's taking his shirt off in the locker room after a win to get the city of Chicago free hot dogs. So
yeah, and I will
to
say it's a classic, Monday morning quarterback that we're talking about LaFleur being a bad coach, because if McManus doesn't miss those 2 field goals, then this is a completely different conversation that we're having. So, again, these freaking kickers and special teams are costing teams, entire cities, a chance to move on and legacies to be had. So it's sad to see Jordan Love play a great game, 4 touchdowns, and then just get throttled by his kicker.
I mean, he played a great game, but at the same time, at the end of the game, they had 1 minute and 48 seconds with a timeout to drive down the field and score a touchdown. If that was Caleb Williams in that situation, I'm like, he's got this. He's going to at least give us a chance. Jordan Love did not give them a chance. I mean, he did, but at the end of the game, it was basically a Hail Mary.
Yeah. No, I don't disagree.
Like he played a great game, but when it came down to it, like I'm taking Caleb in that situation with that time and a timeout.
Well, what it came down to, listen, I bet the Bears in the game, so
makes sense.
The stress level that I had this entire game was insane.
I'm sure you were very stressed out.
I was very stressed out.
I wasn't stressed out at all.
Hey, I'm happy that you're a huge fan. I like money, and I was very into this game. And
hot take.
I honestly thought the Packers were just going to blow them out. I thought there was no chance the Bears were coming back. So the fact that they came back by 25 points was insane, and it's got to go down as one of the classic Bears games at Soldier Field ever.
Oh, absolutely, dude. This was like I said, a franchise-changing win. If it wasn't the Packers, it wouldn't be the same. But it was the Packers. It's basically like a passing of the torch. Like Caleb Williams has as many
But no one
wins.
passed it to him because there was no one holding it.
Yeah, that's true. Caleb Williams has as many wins against the Packers as Jay Cutler, Mitch Trubisky, and Justin Fields combined.
Yeah.
No, it's crazy. I get what you mean. It's like after this great season the Bears put together, if after all this, your rival then, comes into town, beats you in the playoffs, it would take a lot of the air out of the great season. And now it's like, even if this is it for the Bears, it kind of, you can be pretty happy with the way things went down. You get to talk shit to your rivals all offseason.
And dude, Packers fans are so upset that Ben Johnson said "fuck the Packers" in the locker room, but like the rivalry's alive. Packers fans have been talking shit like that for so many years. Like Aaron Rodgers, I still fucking own you, like on a hot mic during the game at the field, like. And then people are whining, not every Packers fan, but people are whining online about, oh, there's no class, whatever, blah, blah, blah. It's like, it's a rivalry. Like, you should be excited that the rivalry is alive again. It means something now.
I tell you what, it's great for football, and Roger Goodell was pumped at that game for sure. There's a lot of eyes on that game. Great way to end a Saturday night. Rolling into Sunday, where the sheriff himself, Josh Allen, is in town. He rolled into Jacksonville, guns a-blazing, boots on, and he absolutely stomped Duval's ass. Okay, it was the first road playoff win for the Bills since 1992. That is 33 years the Bills went without winning a road playoff game. And that is Josh Allen's first fourth quarter comeback in the playoffs with a game-winning drive. So a wonderful game to be at. I got to say, before we get into the actual analytics of the game, Jacksonville, I need to speak on this experience. Okay, I kind of touched on the 2018 one. Now, I kind of shook off my experience in Jacksonville in 2018 to me being an idiot, me being too drunk, But being stone cold sober this time around, it has got to be the worst stadium in professional sports, and we live within a mile from the Tropicana Field in St. Petersburg, Florida. So that's saying something. This was the most ghetto surroundings of a stadium you've ever seen. It looked like we had entered into just pure poverty around the stadium, and every single closed up old gas station opened up their lot for parking for $150 to make the most amount of money they're going to make all year. And the people were disasters. No one was having fun. The tailgates looked absolutely miserable. No one knew anyone on the team's name who was a Jacksonville fan. It was the worst stadium experience ever. It took 28 minutes from entering the stadium to getting to my seat because there was just no other way. And that was not me not knowing where I was going. I knew where I was going. It took 28 minutes, which is insane. I was at obviously literally the highest level in the stadium, but it's a terrifying stadium experience. The stairs are crumbling. I know this was their last season before their big renovation, but good God, does that stadium need the renovation? They already have started the renovations on the outside, so the entire outer layer of the stadium is just a construction zone. It was a third world country. There was no cops anywhere. People were bootlegging alcohol the entire way, but not like giving away alcohol in like a party vibe, like very aggressively pushing Tito shots. And you felt almost like you needed to buy the Tito shot, even if you weren't going to drink it, just for safety. So Jacksonville, worst stadium in the league. The Duval chant has got to go. It's the worst chant ever. My dad just couldn't understand why they kept saying Duval. I tried to explain to him that it's the county that they play in. But I think what was confusing him, there was no rhyme or reason when they were saying Duval. So they would just say it about every 1.5 minutes. They'd just be like, Duval. But they wouldn't say it like Liam Cohen, like I just did.
No.
It's horrible. Horrible stadium, horrible fans, but great Bills game.
The stadium, like just based off of like, because I've never seen like up close pictures of it until I saw, obviously posting from there. It gives me like small city aquarium, like dolphin show vibes, like the way like the seating and like just like the surrounding. I was like, are you about to see Flipper the dolphin, or are you about to watch a Jags?
I mean, I've seen better high school stadiums for sure.
I bet,
mean, definitely better college stadiums.
Yeah, all the clips you posted looked wild, and everything I've heard from anyone who's been that experience pretty much checks out. I kind of want to just experience it and see it regardless.
No, it's actually, I would recommend visiting 31 NFL stadiums before that, and then going to every single college stadium in the SEC, the Big Ten, and probably the Pac-12. I would still go to those stadiums before.
We don't even know if that exists anymore.
Yeah,
But still,
it's the
we're still
Pac-3.
recommending it first. Yeah.
No, but honestly, Josh Allen, 4 different lead changes in the fourth quarter. That's the most in NFL playoff history. It was such a back and forth game. You kind of left the game going, I don't know if the Bills played bad or good, and I don't know if Jacksonville played bad or good. I think it was just 2 teams kind of battling it out. But it's very evident that Josh Allen has about no help on either side of the ball. This was purely a Josh Allen win with no help from anyone else.
I mean, Trey White had a pretty good game.
He did.
Yeah, this was a crazy game. Also, I feel like this would be somewhat of a weird game to be at because sometimes when you're watching the game on TV, it's like there'll be a weird moment or something's happening to the officiating. You're like, what is going on? And you're in the stadium and it's like, there were about 5 different what the hell moments. Yeah. I was like, I feel like Trent probably has no idea what's going on right now.
They couldn't spot the ball. Like they could literally not spot the ball.
So I had the game on my phone on YouTube TV. Okay. And no one knew what was going on in the stadium.
Sure.
Ever. No one, none of the Jaguar fans were even paying attention to the game.
Duval.
But they weren't paying attention to the game. I mean, they were taking selfie. It was out of control. There were so many kids there. The kids were sleeping in like the second quarter. The parents were like just rubbing there was no energy in the stadium. But to answer your question, I had no idea what was going on. I had to have YouTube TV on. The unfortunate part was YouTube TV was literally about 2 minutes behind of the live football.
Sure.
So I wouldn't find out about what was going on until about 2 minutes later. And you're just like, well, that was a catch. Well, I don't know why they didn't, rule that a catch, or why is the clock allowed to hit 0 on a snap, but then they still get an offsides call? That made no sense.
Ball don't lie on that one, though.
And this might be a hot take as well, but I personally think it was because there was a female official and she was so confused the entire game.
Oh, no.
I mean, there's just no way you can tell me that lady is as well prepared to ref an NFL game as a man.
It is crazy.
I'm going to opt out of this conversation.
What is crazy when there's like a fumble and everyone's diving on the ball and like the officials will go in, try to like pull the people off the pile. Just seeing that poor lady try to pull the guys off the pile. It's like, what if she just catches an elbow from one of these 300-pound dudes? It's like, it just seems potentially unsafe. Also, I know they review all this crap. I feel like I've never seen a crew less competent at spotting the ball correctly.
My God.
Like even at the very end of the game when Josh Allen got, picked up the 4th inches and push. Calling that a touch, it's like it was so clearly not a touchdown, even though it was awesome that he got that close down to the 1. It was
I think
like
they called it just because it was awesome.
They were like, "This is so sweet. It'll be tight for the broadcast."
There was another one where we punted it and coffin cornered them within the 5, and they put it at the 1 yard line. They spotted it at the 1 on the field. The entire teams come out. So this is a big difference. If the ball's at the 1 yard line, both teams are clearly changing their play calls based on it being the 1. Right before they were basically about to snap the ball, the ref goes, "Oh, with replay assistance, it's actually out of the 3." And then they just moved the ball up and like ran the clock. And I'm just like, you guys are absolutely ridiculous, man. Figure it out. So it was one of the worst officiated games I've seen. However, they didn't insert themselves in the game from a pass interference standpoint. So at least we had that. I'd rather them mess up a couple spots. It seemed like they were doing that for both teams. It wasn't like they were favoring one or the other. They just seemed lost out there.
And the crazy thing is each crew has 2 more people on the crew for the playoff games.
Yeah.
They give them more people, and then it's almost like they don't know how to act because there's so many more people. They're like, oh, that guy will make the call. I'm good.
Yeah.
We have an extra guy.
Tragedy of the commons.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, another thing that I feel like might have been difficult to pick up while in the stadium, I feel like Josh Allen's dealing with about 5 different injuries at once right now. Like we knew there were issues with the foot. I mean, he was getting cracked in the face. He had people, falling on his arm.
Knee.
One of the plays, his knee got twisted all crazy and he went into the end zone. It was like every time went to the blue tent at one point, you're thinking like, is this how it's going to end? This guy's just too banged up. But watching that game, it was like at no point did it actually feel like the Jags were going to win. It's like Josh Allen with 5 injuries just seems so much more competent than Trevor Lawrence in every regard. Watching this Trevor Lawrence up close, it's like this guy is so like clunky and awkward. It's almost like he's like too tall. Like he's just too. It's like ever know someone who's like really tall and kind of uncoordinated. It's like maybe if you just lopped off like 6 inches from his height, he would have more control of his body. I mean, the guy just I don't know, but that play where he tried to run it and his shin's down. They go for it in fourth in the red zone. Everything the guy does just looks awkward.
Well, the crazy part of watching it live too is it seems like Trevor Lawrence thinks he's a lot faster than he is. And because he kept running the ball in the important situations very unsuccessfully, and not once he's not elusive, he's not fast, and he's not physical. And yet every important situation they would call a run, and he needs to figure it out because they have a bunch of offensive weapons and they did not get the ball. ETN Jr. could have ran all over the Buffalo Bills. Those holes were gaping. So crazy to the fact that the Jaguars put it all on Trevor Lawrence when they really should have just spread it out, and that would have been an easy win for the Jags.
And that was another instance, the play I'm talking about, where they had Trevor Lawrence run for it. It was initially ruled the first down, but then, replay showed he was a yard short. That was in the first quarter. They're going for it.
Yes.
Could have gotten the 3 points, and I said right at that moment, this is going to cost them. And sure enough, they lose by 3. It's like, I don't know. I would love to see a coach just play it straight up, play it old school, take the field goals. It's one thing if you're chasing points in the second half. I don't know. I mean, with Josh Allen that banged up, I would just take the points, do your thing. There's a mental element of just getting points out of a drive.
Me and my dad talked about it all weekend. Every single game, what you kind of saw, the trend was obviously everyone going for it on fourth, but you got to take these points, man. I mean, we'll get it into the Patriots game, but Harbaugh also went for it right after an interception. Could have gotten points on the board. You just get that momentum. You kick it off. You start over again, but you feel like you did something good, right? You're moving forward. These NFL coaches need to understand the importance of getting points on the board in the playoffs. I don't care about all the regular season analytics shit. This is playoff football, and points matter. And all of these games, except for the last one, came down to one possession. So I don't know. I'm not big for going for it on fourth down anymore. Get the points, get on the board, because you never know what's going to win you the game.
I think that'll be a good test tonight with Mike Tomlin coaching, because he seems to be one of the only coaches who plays like that.
Yeah.
He takes the points. He loves kicking sad field goals when they're down by like 25, 26.
You're right. And
he loves kicking a field goal.
His fan base hates him for it, but it's good old school football. Plus, he does have the gimpiest quarterback to ever participate in a QB sneak play ever, where he just stands behind, puts his hands on his hips, and just watches the running back do it. It's kind of embarrassing.
We'll see what happens tonight.
No, it's crazy.
We'll see if that holds true.
But no, as far as this Bills game, I mean, I think the Bills, they showed me a good bit with this one. It's like they were a confusing team all year. I kind of felt like they could either go on a run to the Super Bowl or they could just flop and get knocked out in this game on Sunday. I'm upset with myself because I let all of the people in the media on TV who were talking up the Jags as a Super Bowl contender, I bought into that crap.
Yeah, Andy picked the Jags. You remember that?
To win the Super Bowl?
No, he picked the Jags in this game.
Yeah.
You ever have it when it's like on all the major networks, they're just talking up some team as a contender, and you don't see it at all. And you're just thinking, you know what? They watch the All-22. They watch every snap, every game. They see something I don't see. And then you're like, damn, I should have just stuck with my guns. In no world does it make sense that the freaking Jaguars are going to run through this AFC. I mean, the amount of reputable commentators in recent weeks who I've heard say, I mean, this is a complete team. I mean, the way Trevor Lawrence played, I mean, they could win this They looked completely overmatched.
I said it on the podcast. On the last one that I don't trust Trevor Lawrence.
Right? I've always said I think we have the best football analysis in the game right now.
We actually had a pretty good analysis for this.
Yeah,
we were nails this week.
Just vibes. Like, I just did not trust Trevor Lawrence in this, and I would take Josh Allen to win that game 10 times out of 10 over Trevor Lawrence, regardless of the surrounding cast. That Jags defense was nasty, but guess what? Josh Allen is nastier.
All right, so wild stat here, and this is a very good stat for Josh Allen. This is the first playoff since 1998 that Brady, Mahomes, or Peyton Manning is not participating in. This is kind of setting the stage for Josh Allen to take the reins and become talked about in that tier of quarterbacks of best of all time. This is his only chance to step into that conversation, is to win this year. The path seems to be cleared. None of the big dogs are in it. Lamar's out. Burrow's out. Mahomes is out. This is Josh Allen's path, and he's going to have to travel to Denver and get through the number 1 Broncos to do that. But I think the Bills are in a good position mentally, not physically, but mentally, to kind of tackle this. But we'll see how it goes. We'll save that commentating for later.
It's Josh Allen's playoffs to lose.
It is. But again, a lot of good football this weekend. Aside from the Bills on Saturday at the 4:30 slot was another game that came down to the wire that not many people predicted, right? We had the Rams 34, Panthers 31. The Panthers had a 31-27 lead with under 2 minutes left. Stafford then engineered a 71-yard game-winning drive, hit Kobe Parkinson for a 19-yard touchdown with 38 seconds left, and that was a sick catch in turn for the touchdown for the Rams' backup tight end. The Rams pulled it out against a scrappy Panthers team, but I think the storyline here is really Puka Nacua continues to be one of the best receivers in the game. Devontae Adams played pretty badly coming back from injury, but Matthew Stafford, when the game was on the line, he had no fear in his eyes. You knew that this guy was going to drive down the field easily and score a touchdown. I think the Rams are a dangerous, dangerous team over in the NFC, so I would not want to be playing the Rams next week.
We'll get to that later, but yeah, I don't know what it is about the Panthers, man. I don't know if it was because it was a home game. I don't know what was going on, but Bryce Young played pretty well. I mean, he did play football. That last drive, they had a chance to at least, I mean, even just tie it because it was a 3-point game, and what did it was four straight incompletions.
Yeah,
that dude, the ball, but I mean, bricks for hands. It bounced right out of his hands. Jalen Coker, who had some pretty nice catches.
It was actually Jimmy Horn Jr. who dropped the ball.
Was it Jimmy Horn Jr.? Oh.
JC Horn, is that the name?
Jimmy Horn.
Someone else.
JC Horn's, yeah.
It's Jimmy. Remember the receiver from the Saints, Jimmy Horn?
Jimmy Horn.
That's his son.
Oh.
Jimmy Horn Jr. He played at USF.
Yeah.
And then he went to Colorado.
Anyways, dropped that ball. They had 3 timeouts left.
Mm-hmm.
They were knocking on field goal like territory's door, and they just 4 incompletions in a row is just crazy. So I don't know, man. The Rams are a good team, but they've had these weird games where they just against the Panthers earlier in the year where they don't look, they like play down to the level of the team they're playing against. I don't know what it is, but I mean, still Matt Stafford he's a dog. He obviously engineered that game-winning drive, but who knows, man? I don't think they're as scary as everyone thought they were. They've showed some signs of weaknesses.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of backed yourself into a corner talking about this game because you can't really say that they were playing bad or anything because they kind of won just like your Bears did.
They weren't playing bad, but they were also 11-point favorites.
Sure.
So the Bears were underdogs.
It was 10.5 when I looked at the line.
Oh, damn. Well, we know Andy's never right when it comes to the spread. So
right.
Not that the spread matters because we pick straight up on this podcast. But
that's right.
Andy, what do you think about the
I think
game?
Well, I think the Panthers have a lot to be proud of. It's like no one expected them to win anything this year. They looked dead in the water. They were 0-3, like another terrible year for Bryce Young. The fact that they pulled out the division, I mean, when the Bucs looked like they were on their way to being legit Super Bowl contenders, is crazy. And just think about everyone complaining about the Panthers getting a home game and how much a joke it is that division winner gets an automatic home game. This was an awesome game. So, okay, anyone still complaining about that, you can shut up. This game was awesome. And
that rain was crazy too. That everyone predicted. You almost couldn't even see the rain.
Predictions are hard, man. You know?
Yeah, weather's not real.
Nothing's guaranteed. But yeah, Puka Nacua was absolutely incredible. I think the Rams
control the weather.
Damn it, Jackie.
The Rams, they've shown some vulnerability lately. It's like they can turn it on and be the best team in the league, but down the stretch, they had some bad losses. I mean, that loss to Atlanta, the game they lost in Carolina, it does feel like they play down. So I feel like you'd never know what you're going to get from the Rams. And I don't know. That being said, just because this was a close one, I wouldn't necessarily write them off. Sometimes we have Super Bowl teams where, the best challenge they get comes in the wild card round. I mean, they're going to have to play tougher teams than Carolina, but
I think the spread from the best team to the worst team right now in the playoffs is so thin that I wouldn't worry about if these guys are winning by a lot or winning by a little, because it's completely irrelevant at this point. These teams are all pretty evenly matched here going forward.
It's a dogfight.
It's going to be a dogfight in every single one of these football games, which really sets it up to just be, I think, one of the best NFL playoffs I've seen, at least in my lifetime.
It's must-watch TV for every game.
100%. It's exciting to not have the villains in the games as well, where you kind of could technically root for either team without feeling one way or another. And so it's kind of nice. It's nice to not have Collinsworth or Romo or Brady have their favorite quarterback in the game, even though I'm sure I didn't listen to the game, but I'm sure Romo was talking about Josh Allen, how he's Superman the whole game. So it can get a little annoying. But from what I've heard, Romo called a horrible game. But who was the best commentator this week, you think?
I still love Brady and Burkhardt.
Oh, no. I can't stand Brady in the booth.
Kirk Herbstreit got at least like 5 names wrong during the Bears
Kirk
game.
Herbstreit's the bottom tier for sure. He's the worst.
Al Michaels couldn't get a retirement home party. Like
Al Michaels is tough. He's
excited.
He's
for
past
any-
his prime
like,
for
yeah.
sure.
Yeah, I mean, I think Collinsworth, he was electric as always. That's why they pay him the big bucks. So
I love that
he was my
sweater
pick.
too. He wore that was great.
Oh, it was great.
yeah.
So
Great sweater.
Hey, came dressed for the cold weather.
What was he talking about at the beginning of the game when they were talking about the Patriots fans? Were they giving him shit? Is that what he was talking about?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, well, good talk.
Heavy hitting stuff right there. guys.
But yeah, Rams obviously move on. That was a great game. This was another upset alert, and we called it. The 49ers 23, the Eagles 19. Defending Super Bowl champs are gone, eliminated in the wild card.
I have a
The first NFC back-to-back champs in 30-plus years, not going to happen. George Kittle goes out early with a torn Achilles because the electromagnetic station right next to the Levi Stadium practice field, and he tears his Achilles. Also, Nick Bosa's torn ACL. Fred Warner, weak ankle bones because of the electromagnetic waves as well, broken ankle. But Purdy just got the throws done when it mattered. 18 of 31, 2 touchdowns, over 250 yards. The Eagles, nothing was more telling than when Sirianni ran 40 yards down the sideline and got into a verbal argument with A.J. Brown. Our analysis couldn't have been more spot on. Andy said it. Andy said, these guys all hate each other. There's no way they're going to win. And it proved to be true.
You want to know what's really funny? That was my lock of the week, that the Eagles were going to win this game. And then yesterday when I was placing bets, Andy can attest to this too, because I was rooting for the Eagles the whole time. And then I pull up my Hard Rock app and I look at it. I was like, oh shit, I took the 49ers. It's like as I was pressing the button, I just knew. I was like, there's no way the Eagles are going to win this game.
Your hands knew they needed to make you money.
They
guided
me to the right pick.
You were overruled into a correct pick. No, it was crazy. That scene with Sirianni and A.J. Brown yelling at each other on the sideline, that's a microcosm for this whole terrible Eagles season. I think this might be one of the least likable teams in a long time. They're finally dead. I mean, Philly, uber talented team coming off a Super Bowl. What a freaking nightmare of a season. And honestly, I think they need a major shakeup. Like normally a year after the Super Bowl, you would say, you know what? You got a great group. I think A.J. Brown needs to go elsewhere. Honestly, I don't think it'd be crazy to look elsewhere at quarterback. It seems like this Jalen Hurts thing is broken. I don't think he's terrible, but it seems like the guys in the building think he is. Also, I think Nick Sirianni needs to go. If by the time this podcast comes out, Nick Sirianni hasn't been fired and Ed Orgeron hasn't been introduced as the Eagles' new head coach, I can't take this franchise seriously. But, I mean, great win for the Niners. They've been pulling out insane wins all season long. So, with the injuries piling up, this could be it for them. But even if that's the case, they have a ton to be proud of. Also, I feel like Brock Purdy has just gotten so much better than he was a few years ago. Like, he actually had some pretty bad mistakes in this game, threw a couple picks, but I mean, he was completely immobile. 3 years ago when he first got the Niners to the NFC Championship, now he's running around. Like, this guy, I think this guy is a way better athlete than I ever thought, and we might need to re-examine his place in the NFL quarterback hierarchy because this kid, he's legit, and he's putting together a nice little playoff resume.
Yeah, you want to talk about a quarterback that can throw with anticipation, with proper ball speed, proper arc and pace. It's Brock Purdy. This guy was anticipating that some of these in-breaking routes like I haven't seen in years. It was good to see a guy throwing in rhythm, hitting his guys right where they need to be. He was throwing his receivers properly too. There were several plays where he threw to Kyle Juszczyk, and he kind of led him away from being smacked by the middle linebackers by kind of throwing like a little back shoulder slant. That's when you hit the next level of being a quarterback, right? It's kind of like you know how to play, you're talented, you can show flashes. Brock Purdy kind of entered into that next stage where he's making throws that someone who's been in the league for 5 years can't even make. So Brock Purdy, he's doing a lot with a little, and obviously, you know, Juszczyk came out and honestly filled a big gap during this game that Kittle left. But with him and McCaffrey and then a couple Jennings catches on the outside, the 49ers do have enough talent to kind of make a little bit of run here. It'll be interesting to see how far they can take it. They're going to be facing the Seahawks up in Seattle, so that'll be an interesting game. But Kyle Shanahan, congratulations. This guy's the epitome of a good coach. He's unflappable on the sidelines. When all of these injuries are happening, he doesn't complain about it. He just goes next man up philosophy. So Kyle Shanahan, you get my coach of the week here for sure.
You want to talk about elite quarterback play? Juwan Jennings, 15-yard touchdown. You want to know how many? You want to know how many air yard touchdown or 15-yard air yard touchdowns Jalen Hurts had in that same game?
0. Yeah.
So Juwan Jennings, quarterback for the Eagles next year.
Well, Juwan Jennings
He was
actually
a dual threat quarterback
coming out of high school was
a dual threat
one of the
quarterback.
top ranked quarterbacks ahead of
Sam Darnold.
Sam Darnold.
So he was a 4-star coming out of high school, which is
it's crazy.
And he's
pretty elite.
He's already better than Jalen Hurts.
And I mean, that play was just, that was so hype. I mean, McCaffrey catching it, spiking in the end zone. I was like,
after they made the call, like he was like waiting for them to be like touchdown,
right.
and then he's like, all right, cool, yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty hype. But yeah, I think you're right. If you're Philadelphia, it's Okinawa mode, man. You need to drop the bomb. You need to get this team completely exploded. I think it starts from the top. Sirianni has got to go. This guy is a problem in the locker room. If you can't have your team coming together when it matters most, that I believe falls on the coach, not the players. But you definitely need to have A.J. Brown leave this locker room. This guy's a cancer. He's dropping balls left and right anyway. If anyone watched, no one said it better than the 8-year-old Eagles fans outside of the stadium after the game, where he got the tickets to the game for Christmas, and he said, wow, the Eagles, I got this for Christmas, and then I go and I get a loss. He was calling for A.J. Brown to be gone immediately. That kid, put him in the lawn chair next week. This guy's got better sports analysis than 99.9% of America.
yeah, he's got a bright future. I'd rather listen to him than any of these talking heads on Get Up
100%.
every morning. So,
or Waking Up Barstool. Just kidding. We love Waking Up Barstool. We
yeah, we can't wait to join the program, actually.
Yeah. We could revive it. Fuck.
Oh, yeah.
But honestly, just another game where we just Andy
not
back
again,
with the
dude.
coughs, man. It's
I held that one off for a long time.
This guy just can't stay healthy over here.
About this garage.
Andy, I think I'll let you kind of lead into your Patriots game. It was kind of like what we said. The Patriots just dominating from start to finish.
It was crazy. Like I said, I thought this was a good matchup for the Patriots to draw the Chargers, and I think they were lucky to get out of this one with the win because Drake made his first playoff game. No, he wasn't complete dog shit, but there were some first playoff game jitters. This was not his best showing. You know, one of the things that Drake made, it done really well throughout the course of the season and really improved from last season was cutting down on mistakes and turning the ball over. During the Patriots, 13 wins in 14 games, they really cut down on the turnovers. So some tough moments, throws the pick early, 2 fumbles, including losing one of them. But, I mean, on the other side, the Chargers just not able to do a thing. And there's all this talk. The weapons aren't great. The offensive line is terrible. Justin Herbert, this was another no-show performance in the playoffs. Anytime they panned up close to Justin Herbert's face, he looked like he was completely checked out.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. He's playing through a lot of injuries. I mean, he was getting absolutely killed by the Pats defensive line. There were a handful of times he went down. You thought, this guy looks like he's dead.
Likely concussed.
Yeah, I think either concussed or he is on the highest quality painkillers that had him look like he didn't even know where he was because he didn't look engaged in the game.
He looked like your rich aunt from Fort Myers, like just completely like, is she there with us or
I don't know if
she's just
listening.
on a different planet? Yeah.
And you brought it up earlier. I thought huge momentum swing in the game. I mean, early on, there's the tip pass. Drake May throws the pick near the Pats' own end zone. So the Chargers get the ball about 10 yards away from the end zone. They go for it on 4th down, okay, and they come up empty. And when that happened, it was like absolute relief. The mood flipped. It went from, oh my God, we're about to blow this, to we're good. Pat's got the momentum back. It's like there's a human element to the game. Even just to kick a field goal there, you get that entire stadium and you get the Patriots tight, thinking, all right, we're making mistakes. We're shooting ourselves in the foot. And I like the contrast in the coaching styles because Mike Vrabel kind of played it old school all night long. Generally, he was kicking the field goal 9 times out of 10, kicking the extra point. He was not playing around. He just said, I don't think we're going to need a lot of points to beat Justin Herbert in this broken Chargers offense. Give me the points so I can get them. Whereas Harbaugh, I mean, he was saying, go for it, and I think it backfired.
Yeah, I will say Khalil Mack, though, this is a concern for you guys moving forward. Will Campbell out there at left tackle looked like a giraffe on ice skates. Will Campbell, or Khalil Mack had him looking like the fat kid you found in lunch class and you convinced to come out and play some football because Will Campbell was moving back about 10 yards every single time Khalil Mack engaged with him. So I'm a little worried for you guys from that perspective. And your left guard really screwed up royally on passing off a couple blocks, which resulted in one of Drake May's fumbles. So not on him, in my opinion. But I was surprised the Pats O-line kind of looked a little bit weaker than I remembered from when we played you. Diggs had a bad game. Seemed like you guys were just kind of slow, sloppy. But again, doesn't matter. You guys ended up getting the biggest playoff win of the week, which is kind of funny with how bad you played.
Yeah, it didn't feel like that at all. And probably if they had drawn any number of different opponents, they're probably at home right now. They got a lot they need to clean up if the Pats want to play on another week. But for now, they get out of this one alive. Another thing, I was always a big Jim Harbaugh guy. It was kind of the same as Herbert. Like, anytime they panned to him on the sideline, he looked like he didn't have a single thought in his head. He just had mouth open, just...
Oh, the mouth open's tough.
The senile look.
It is tough. I'm team Jim Harbaugh. I think if I were a player, I would definitely want to play for the guy. But is it time that we almost kind of look back at the Michigan days and say, we gave all this credit to Jim Harbaugh. Should we have been kind of giving more of the credit to
J.J. McCarthy?
Sharon Moore and Connor Stallions?
J.J. McCarthy.
I don't know. I think it's 0-2. 0-2 in his 2 Charger playoff appearances. So,
dude,
I don't know.
I heard a stat earlier today that in 22 possessions in the Greg Roman, Jim Harbaugh, Justin Herbert era, they've scored 1 touchdown.
Yeah, I mean,
22 offensive possessions.
I've said this all along. I don't think Herbert is a good quarterback. I think he's one of the easiest quarterbacks to play against every time the Bills play him. I have no fear of him. Every other quarterback we face, I have at least a little fear that they might play well. Herbert just consistently puts up these garbage stat lines, and these analysts on NFL and ESPN just call him one of the elite quarterbacks. I do not get it. If this guy was 6'1", he wouldn't be in the conversation of being a good quarterback. And yet someone like Bo Nix, who is 6'1", and leading his team to the number 1 seed, isn't even talked about as a good quarterback. So the dichotomy of what's a good and a bad quarterback, a lot of it just has to do with looks, size, and who you're dating, apparently. Because Herbert just gets the pass every time he plays poorly. Why is it on the offensive line when he's holding on to the ball for 5.5 seconds? That's not on the offensive line. That's on the quarterback. Not being able to read your hot route when a blitz comes is on the quarterback, not the offensive line. And the fact that Herbert doesn't come out to the media and say, enough of this offensive line garbage, this has been my fault, the offensive line doesn't want to block for that guy. So Herbert and Harbaugh, they got to go back to the drawing board and see what's going to happen. Because who's got it better than us? Everyone, apparently, Jim. So you're going to have to get a new saying as well.
Yeah, and for all the talk of the terrible offensive line, in this game, Justin Herbert, he had over 3.5 seconds to throw per snap, which was the most time he's had since week 9 of 2024. So, everyone's going to say, oh, yeah, you can't put this on Herbert. Look at what's around him, which is the classic thing fans do. It's like, I can only judge the player in the context of what actually happened. I don't know. Justin, he's got to answer for these last 2 playoff showings because...
I mean, I took the Chargers too, and I was like, ooh, that was a bad beat on my part because I don't know. I don't really watch a lot of Chargers football, but I guess I fell for the Justin Herbert being an elite quarterback.
Most people do fall for that one, to be honest.
He probably is secretly concussed. I think that's the best explanation because the guy looked like his brain was absolutely fried.
I mean, he did have, like you said, more time to throw the ball, but there was a few plays where the defensive ends from New England they were playing patty cake before they took him down. Like they were high fiving as they met.
Like you almost thought they were going to take the snap. Like it was just like they were like right on him with the ball in his hands.
What are you doing here?
All right. I don't think we need to cover both of the national semifinals games, but let's talk about the upcoming college football playoffs. The NFL is obviously one of the most entertaining things going on right now, but this college football playoff has also been one of the most unpredictable college football playoffs of our lifetime, considering there's only been a couple.
Right.
But number 1, Indiana, they go from losing his program in college football history in the FBS era to number 1, about to go 16-0 with a Heisman Trophy winning quarterback in Mendoza. And then we have Miami, who no one thought was even going to make a run for it this year. And they get to play basically a home game in their own stadium, in Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. It's setting up to be quite the storyline, considering Mendoza, Indiana's quarterback, grew up just a mile away from the Hard Rock Stadium and wanted to play for the Canes his entire life, but was told he was not good enough. So if that doesn't give that guy enough hunger to want to win the national championship at Hard Rock Stadium, I don't know what else will. But Cignetti has the boys rolling. Cristobal has the boys rolling. They're going to be clashing, and the cheapest ticket to get into this game is now about $28,000. So the people of Miami have shown that fraud is alive and well in Miami, even though everyone is focusing on it in Minneapolis, which is hilarious because everybody in Florida knows the biggest fraudsters are in Miami.
Well, they absolutely are, and I mean, I believe they go by the Miami Hurricanes because this team's going to be outmatched in this national championship. No, but there's a lot to like about this matchup. There are a lot of interesting things. I mean, Miami gets there as a 10 seed. In hindsight, all the crying from the Notre Dame fans about Miami being in the college football playoff, they look like a bunch of clowns because Miami, they found a way to get to the national championship. And, I mean, Indiana dominating once again. Oregon looked like absolutely no match. I think the most absurd stat is that in both of Indiana's playoff games so far, Fernando Mendoza has more touchdown passes than he does incomplete passes. He had 3 touchdown passes, 2 incompletions against Alabama. He had 5 touchdown passes, 3 incompletions against Oregon. I mean, this is just an absurd level of domination. I'm kind of pissed that Miami gets a home game in the national championship. I don't like when it happens. Games are supposed to be neutral sites. There's no real way around it. Like, I didn't like when the Rams had a Super Bowl at home or the Bucs had the Super Bowl at home. I mean, they're playing the Super Bowl in the Niners Stadium this season. I know you can't move it, but I don't know why. That bothers me. But I love the quarterback matchup. Not only is Mendoza Miami guy, I mean, it is just 2 polar opposites. You got Fernando Mendoza, you got the valedictorian, and you got Carson Beck. You got the high school dropout who tried to sell your kid crack. Like, it is just, these 2 guys could not be more opposite, and I think it's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, Carson Beck has been here, done that. This guy has won a national championship before. He was the backup, but he has experience in these moments. And so we'll see if that plays into it at all. But I think at the end of the day, Indiana has proven that they're basically just a minor league NFL team. Every single starter on their team is basically 23 to 24 years old. So the average age of Indiana versus the Cleveland Browns is only off by about a year and a half. So Cignetti obviously has a strategy that no other coach thought about, which is not to focus on all these 5-star recruits that are coming out of high school. He's focusing on the 3 and 4-star recruits that have 2 to 3 years playing experience in college football, because he knows the difference between a 19-year-old boy and a 24-year-old man. There's a lot of development that happens in those years in men, and his teams show it because they just have been outmatching every single opponent that they're playing. Aside from maybe Jeremiah Smith, there hasn't been one player who's even been able to compete against Indiana right now.
Yeah. Indiana looking absolutely dominant. I mean, some other thoughts, though, from the semifinal games. The ending of the Miami-Ole Miss game, it was awesome, but it was kind of a ref show. Every other play was a flag. I wanted them to just let the boys play a little bit, and it kind of got me thinking, is this the NCAA almost trying to protect Lane Kiffin? Like, Ole Miss's incredible run without Lane Kiffin came to a close. If they had reached the national championship, no Lane Kiffin, is that a bad look for the NCAA? Is it a bad look for these coaches who are getting paid $300 million over 4 seasons?
Well, I'm sure Hottie Toddy was pissed about the no-call pass interference on the last play. I can't listen to announcers have the rules analysts get on anymore and say that that wasn't pass interference. They're always taking the sides of the refs. I'm so sick of it. That couldn't have been more pass interference. The guy was pulling him, wasn't looking at the ball, and tackled him before the ball came. And then the rules analyst was going, they were just hand checking in the end zone. No, they were not. You would have called that pass interference on any other play. The play itself and the importance of it shouldn't dictate how the rules are interpreted or judged. If I'm an Ole Miss fan, I am still fuming over this because Chambliss's last throw in an Ole Miss uniform is now going to be known as the play that could have been. And that guy played his heart out. Ole Miss played their heart out. And for it to be stolen by the refs like that, it's just sad to see the NCAA taking Lane Kiffin's side on this.
The issue is they're like, oh, well, it was a Hail Mary. It's like, no, it wasn't. That was a real route that dude ran, and he pulled his arm down, preventing him from catching the ball. But because the clock struck 0, they're like, Hail Mary. So no, there's no pass interference on a Hail Mary.
Yeah, which is just not written anywhere in the rule book.
Yeah,
so
it's just like
that was
so
what John was. If it's like, everyone knows,
well
you can do anything you want in a Hail Mary.
It's backyard bullshit football once it's a Hail Mary, but that wasn't a Hail Mary. It was a legitimate route that the dude was running, and it was a good throw, and the dude couldn't even get his arm up to catch it.
Yeah, this isn't like a lawyer who's interpreting the law. It's a pass interference is pass interference. You can't make a claim that no. If it's on the last play, it's going to really affect the game and piss the entire fan base off. We won't call it. No, that needed to be called, and it's sad to see Ole Miss lose in that fashion. But it was a hell of a game, though. Fun game to watch.
Oh yeah, and that's a great point. These in-studio rules analysts they have on the broadcast, like, it's the most disingenuous position ever. And I hate when all the broadcasts just talk to us like we're idiots. It's like there will be some indefensible call made, and they'll bring in the rules guy to just talk down to the viewers who can see that it's a terrible call. This is clearly corrupt. But, it's like the same way the color commentator will talk down to you with the like, no, I used to play. I get it. You wouldn't get it, man.
Yeah, and you'll hear a lot of the same verbiage going on too. You'll say, well, the reason that was called an incompletion today and not yesterday and not the play before was this really was a point of contention moving forward for the NFL. After the catch with Des Bryant in 2011, there's really been a point of contention that the ball can't move if it touched the ground, but it can touch the ground, but as long as it doesn't move. But if it moves after the guy's knee hits, but 2 feet are in, but 1 foot's in, but his shin touched, that's really been the point of contention. So, yeah, I'm lost. Cannot stand these rules analysts anymore. And whatever they're getting paid is absolutely criminal. These guys should be getting paid $0. Go back to reffing.
What my favorite part is when they bring the rules analysts in and they talk about it for 2 minutes. Like, yeah, this is how the call is going to go, and then they're completely wrong. And I just want to hear one of them just be like, "Oh shit, my bad."
Right?
Instead of
go back to him.
Instead of being like, oh well, yeah, I guess technically because of this, and they go on there.
Could have gone either way, Tony.
It's like I just want to hear them be like, oh shit, my bad, guys.
If I wanted someone to come on and say it could have gone either way, you don't need a rules analyst for that. You are there to just make a call. Just tell us what you think. Just honestly tell us. If you were the ref, what would you call? It just pisses me off. It's yeah. But anyway,
Yeah.
it's going to be a good college football playoff.
Absolutely. No, other things to note from Trinidad Chambliss, he was denied his 9th year of eligibility. So he will now turn to the NFL draft. And it's only January, but I saw he's projected as potentially the 5th quarterback who could be taken. Could be kind of a mid-round pick. I like this kid. I think it's like he could be a guy who, you take, you kind of stash. Think of like a Dak Prescott type pick. It's like, all right, we think we got a starter now, but this kid shows some flashes. Also, I don't care how old he is. Quarterbacks play until they're about 45 now, if they're half decent. So all this talk of, why would I draft someone who's already 26? If you get a quarterback tomorrow who's 26 and can play, that's a gift. That's 10 years plus of good quarterback play. So
yeah, it's a very good point. Yet Chambliss's game kind of reminds me of if Drew Brees, Kyler Murray, and Baker Mayfield had a baby, but kind of took the best of all of them, because this guy's quick like Murray. He's got the twitchiness and the kind of that shortstop ability to sling it out like Murray, but he plays with grit like Baker Mayfield. But he's got the accuracy, and he seems to have the game knowledge of Drew Brees. So I think Chambliss could be a really good plug-and-play option for a lot of these quarterback-needy teams. I think somewhere like Oakland, Arizona,
Miami,
they could really use a quarterback like Chambliss. And I like him a lot more than Dante Moore of Oregon.
that guy, he looks like, I can already see it, the next awful Jets quarterback.
Yeah.
It just looks right.
Well, if he goes to the draft, because if he knows the Jets are taking him, he might not even declare for the
Oh,
draft.
that's another, I hate. Oh my!
I'm
Every
just saying-
freaking draft, these guys. I might go back. I don't want to play for this team. No one wants to play for these crap teams who draft at the very top. But you know what? I mean, who's the last guy who actually just went back in the draft or actually didn't say? Like we heard it with Caleb Williams. He didn't want to go to Chicago, but he's going. We heard it with Joe Burrow. He doesn't want to go to Cincinnati.
Quinn Ewers did it, and how did that work out for him?
Terrible.
Yeah.
Back in Miami. Yeah. Crazy stuff. But yeah, not impressed by Dante Moore. He looks like just a guy. It's like I'm tired of just being told that these random quarterback prospects are the next big thing. It's like, I feel like I've seen, there are already 70 Dante Moores in the NFL.
Yeah, and if you don't think Mendoza is a good NFL prospect, you're an idiot. Every time someone describes the perfect NFL quarterback, it's like, we want someone with really good character who's a great teammate. He works hard, shows up on time, knows how to win football games, doesn't turn the ball over, has a good completion percentage, is 6'5", 225 pounds, is a leader in the locker. He fits every single bill, and it's almost like people try to find a reason to knock this guy. Don't find don't try to find a reason to knock him. Just take him and enjoy him for what he is. He is a more athletic, better Kirk Cousins with the talent of Peyton Manning. Honestly, that's what he is. So I think everyone should enjoy the hell out of him.
Yeah. This guy's been incredible. I love everything about this guy. So I'm chalking me up as a Mendoza fan.
See how he does in Las Vegas.
That's right.
Well, I mean, under Brady's tutelage, let's see what can happen. But
What else we got on the program?
let's see. Nothing scheduled on the program.
I guess
so
something newsworthy.
this is kind of where we open it up to whatever's on the top of our mind.
Well, I feel like we got to get back to the NFL coaching carousel.
Sure.
Because we hit on it a lot the last episode, and there's been some more news. A lot of coaches fired, the Monday after Week 18. The Dolphins have since fired Mike McDaniel. And we were talking about this all season long. Like, this could be coming. And there were a lot of whispers when the Ravens first let go of John Harbaugh that there could be a mystery team because he had heard from more teams than there were openings. And one of the teams that was whispered at the time was Miami. They said, we would move on from our coach to bring in John Harbaugh. There's a lot of smoke there. There's thought that John Harbaugh has a personal connection with Stephen Ross, the ownership in Miami. So Mike McDaniel out. He now joins the list of available coaches. John Harbaugh potentially going to the Dolphins? I mean, how do we feel? If you're John Harbaugh, would you want to go to the Miami Dolphins?
Yes, no state income tax. Weather's good. Good place to kind of ease into retirement. It's got a pretty good, a good group of talent on there as well. I think it's just kind of missing that quarterback piece, but it gives him the opportunity to kind of pick his own quarterback and not be stuck with a running quarterback anymore that can't win in the playoffs. I think John Harbaugh is more apt to kind of get a passing pocket passer who can really do some good play action under center, get back to that I formation. That's what the Harbaugh family loves. They love running the power, okay? When I was at USF, our coach, when Skip Holtz got fired, was Willie Taggart. Willie Taggart coached with the Harbaughs in Baltimore and comes from that tree. And the first thing we did in camp when Taggart took over was all we did was run power for like an entire week. And he just talked about how the Harbaugh brothers, that's what they love. They just love power, running power, 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 power. And then their whole kind of offense comes off of that because they just do the West Coast play action. So it was interesting watching John Harbaugh in Baltimore have to run all this spread stuff because it's not who they are. And even if you look at a running back like Henry, he would have been better had they just been under center in the I formation. So I think this gives Harbaugh a perfect chance to pick his quarterback that he wants. I think he's going to need full roster control to make any sort of move to any team. And Steve Ross is going to have to pay him because Harbaugh is numero uno on a lot of people's list.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm Harbaugh, I would like the Miami job for the reasons of it's Miami, nice place to live, no state income tax. If he has this relationship with Stephen Ross, then maybe he'll have nice, cushy job security. It's not going to be like 2 years in, he's done. Maybe he'll have a nice, long, 5 to 10 year run there, even if they're not going deep in the playoffs. I would be a little hesitant about taking the job in Miami. I feel like right now with no quarterback, it's not like they're going to have a super high pick in the upcoming draft. And also, do you really want to go to the AFC East right now with Josh Allen and Drake May? Twice a year each. It looks like those teams look like they're going to be, running the division for the next 8 to 10 years. I don't know if I would necessarily want to go to the Dolphins. Fresh out of Baltimore, I think I would still aim a little bit higher.
I mean, where else would he go?
Philly? Philly opens
Nick
up?
Sirianni's not getting fired. Kevin Patullo's getting fired. Nick Sirianni's not getting fired.
It's tough. I mean, I guess if you're Harbaugh, where'd you rather go? Dolphins or Giants? I would kind of lean Giants.
I would lean Giants too because that division is.
I think there's a little more going for them. I think it's better ownership.
Yeah, and I feel like Jackson Dart is kind of fixed into the Harbaugh's like play style a little bit better. I mean, I know he loves to run, but he also loves CTE. So
that's right.
No, I think it would be a good match. I think that would be good for Jackson Dart, Scadaboo, and Harbaugh. Mm-hmm. I just think if you're Harbaugh, why do you want to walk into such a crazy media environment like New York, where they're going to overreact at every single game? I think Harbaugh's, the way he wants to probably spend the rest of his life, I'm thinking just personally too, does he really want to live in New York City or the outskirts in New Jersey and have to deal with all that crap?
I mean, he lived in Baltimore for how long?
Yeah, but Baltimore's got some good suburbs, and
New York City doesn't have any nice suburbs.
No nice suburbs in New York City. I don't know. I just think
coach's salary, there's no way he's finding a nice place in New York.
I don't think Harbaugh would go to New York. It's just my feeling.
And then kind of the other end, Mike McDaniel has been fired. It sounds like about 8 to 10 teams have already reached out to bring him in as offensive coordinator. I think since he's so in demand as a coordinator, and we're hearing this is kind of a weak crop of coaches available, I wouldn't be surprised if he gets another head coaching job right now. And one of the teams that was rumored, I feel like could make a ton of sense, are the Cleveland Browns. Just because I don't know if guys will really be lining up to take the Cleveland job. I think Mike McDaniel gets another job somewhere real quick.
Yeah, I think they said he's interviewing with Cleveland. So I think it would be a good fit. Him, Shador, kind of run the reins there.
Yeah.
And Mike McDaniels would be kind of the polar opposite of Stefanski. I feel like he would buy into that primetime hype. I feel like he would enjoy the attention. And I think it would give him the opportunity to kind of run with it where he's not getting judged. He's in Cleveland, so the bar is just so low that anything Mike McDaniel does good is just going to be appreciated. And I think he's just been... It looks like he wasn't enjoying what he was doing there the last season. And it would be nice to see Mike McDaniels back on the sideline with his capris and a smile on his face, smoking a vape.
Weather's a little different in Cleveland than Miami, though.
Yeah, well, he lost his chance to live in good weather by being a shitbag, smoking a vape in the playoffs. So,
And isn't it crazy they almost won that game? Someone reminded me of the Dolphins-Bills playoff game the other day. I feel like I'd blocked that on my memory. Can't believe the
with
Dolphins
a
almost
backup
won in
quarterback
Buffalo.
too. They had a backup quarterback.
That was wild. But I think I've said this before with Mike McDaniel. Like, throughout the season, we thought he was going to get fired. His whole act, like he's the funny guy, you're going to have a short shelf life. It's like when things are going well, they loved him early on in Miami. It's like, this is an offensive genius. He's turned things around. He's incredible. Once you start losing, coming up short, I mean, guys tune you out real quick. So he's a short shelf life guy, but that's just how it goes for NFL coaches right now. I saw a stat that there are 22 NFL coaches that have been hired since 2022, and 18 of them are gone. It's like he's perfect for that spot. It's just like 2 to 4 years, you'll be sick of him, but hey.
I think he fits in perfectly as the offensive coordinator for the Philadelphia Eagles.
I think it'd be great as the OC a lot of places. I also saw Detroit wants him as the OC. I think that'd be a great. Obviously, if you can't get a head coaching job, you're trying to rehab get your stock up. I think Detroit would be one of the top, or Philly. Either would be incredible.
Yeah.
I think Detroit has a little bit more,
Definitely.
less offensive uncertainty.
Yeah.
Correct.
But
Detroit fans are going to treat you a lot better than Philly fans. So,
but crazy stuff. I mean, who knows? Now that the Bills won that game in Jacksonville, I do feel like it'd be kind of hard to fire Sean McDermott. I mean, we'll see how the game in Denver goes. But
yeah, him and Bean are locked in for another year. So,
What about Matt LaFleur?
I think he should stay. I think he's a very good coach.
I think he's a very good coach too, but everything I'm hearing is that Packers fans want him out after that game.
That's bad.
I
would
think
take a look at it.
think it's crazy too, but like they're 7 seed merchants. If the 7 seed didn't exist, he'd be working at McDonald's.
yeah, I don't think it'd be crazy for Matt LaFleur to run. This guy's been there for a long time. They came up short when they had Aaron Rodgers. Now they're just living off 7 seeds. I mean, they had a ton of injuries this year.
They should have won that game. They took 80 seconds off the clock with 4 minutes left. They kept throwing fade routes instead of running the ball and could have ran the time out of the game. But I mean, I think he's a great coach. I personally want him to get fired because I want him to go somewhere else out of my division.
Sure.
To me, he seems like another one of these guys who's a coordinator, but doesn't have the people skills. Like, it sounds like by all accounts, anyone who works with him, the guy's just a dick, and he doesn't make a ton of friends wherever he goes. I don't know. I don't think it'd be crazy for the Packers to potentially move on. He's been there for 6, 7 years now. He's had a pretty good run, and the team has a lot of talent. That would be another desirable job. I mean, if that opened up, if I were John Harbaugh, I'd probably want to go there if that were open.
I mean, speaking of a good division, though.
That's fair, but Green Bay will always be a marquee job.
Yeah, but
I agree.
if you're a Packers fan, you got to be careful because who's going to be better than LaFleur? And the answer is not a lot. And it takes a long time for a new coach to come in and implement his system. Aside from Vrabel, who came in and did a wonderful job this year, and honestly, he probably doesn't get enough kudos. And
Great culture builder.
McDaniel up in Seattle as well.
Oh, yeah.
Who no one talks about.
Ben Johnson, too.
That guy.
Yep.
Yeah, Ben Johnson. I mean, honestly, 3 of probably the best hires.
And Liam Cohen.
Yeah, he's got a very slanted face though.
He looks like a Muppet.
So
Did you see the reporter after with the very kind comments for him?
Yeah.
So, and I thought it was a nice moment. Seems like a very sweet lady. He appreciated it. But then came all the comments from people over the internet saying, we need more of this from sports media. Instead of asking the hard-hitting questions and criticizing these guys, this needs to happen more often. No, it doesn't. It was a perfectly nice moment. I think she is a wonderful lady, and I'm glad Liam Cohen was happy. No, the media's job is not to be friendly with the coaches and players. It's to get information out of them, to get information to the fans. It's just like people who hate media are so stupid. Without media, you wouldn't know anything that's going on in sports in and around the teams. It's like you consume 10 hours of information per day about what's going on with your team, but then you say, I can't stand the media.
thought it was a cute moment as well. I enjoyed it. I really
Wonderful
enjoyed
moment.
it. The lady was very genuine, but it gave me more cafeteria worker vibes than it did reporter vibes. I felt like when I listened to it, I was like, is this just the hot dog stand lady like talking to Liam Cohen? But maybe that's also going to be a bad take for me. So we'll see in the comments.
Wasn't there a story about like a reporter who follows Mike Vrabel to press conference to press conference, who asks him like very similar questions and has like very similar statements?
It is Mike Vrabel's thing is that he always gives a lady reporter the first question.
Okay.
Because his whole thing is like he knows how hard it is for women to break into the.
I remember
break
there
into the
being a
business.
story where like they seem very friendly with each other, but I wasn't
That's
sure.
a Karen Gregian from I believe the Boston Globe. I feel like she often gets the first question.
Okay. Is it because she's nice to him?
That and also I think she covered him as a player, long time.
Okay.
Yeah, long time connection. So it's kind of
Well, you guys have anything else to say? Because I'm trying to watch this Monday night game right now.
quick baseball minute.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Oh my God.
Dude, in the middle
We'll do this for the fans, but I am totally against talking about baseball right
in
now.
the middle of the Bears-Packers game, they released that the Cubs sign Alex Bregman to a 5-year deal. Is that what you're going to talk about?
Absolutely. And basically for context, so this baseball offseason, nothing has happened. Baseball offseason is slow as hell. And classic baseball, this postseason was incredible. Even people who aren't big-time fans watched the World Series and said, oh, my God, I never realized how awesome baseball is. I'm pretty into it now. Classic, they follow it up, zero momentum into the offseason. It's like you probably had forgot what the word baseball even was, like over the past 2 months, because there's been nothing newsworthy.
Zero.
Finally, one of the marquee free agents went off the board. Yeah, I was exactly. Alex Bregman spent 1 year with the Red Sox last year, was on the market, kind of in a standoff. The thought was the Sox bring him back. No progress was made. Cubs swooping in, getting their guy. And yeah, great pickup for the Cubs. I mean, this guy, he's a winner, provides veteran leadership. And free agency is weird. It's like any of these deals feel like overpays, but
I don't think it's an
if you
overpay.
don't participate in it, it's like
I don't think
then
it's
you're
an
just never going to add to your team.
Yeah.
You're never going to have a great squad. But yeah, bad look for the Red Sox. Basically, a year ago they showed up at spring training, had 2 third basemen, Alex Bregman and Rafael
The
Devers,
Spider-Man meme where they're pointing at each other.
and now they have 0. The thought was, all right, they finally made a big splash, added to this lineup. Bringing in Bregman creates all this drama. Devers loses position. He's miserable. He wants out. He won't play first. They say, we'll trade him away, but we're definitely keeping Bregman. Now Bregman walks out the door. It's like, I mean, I think in Boston, people just look at this ownership group and say, you're a joke. It's actually nuts how after no World Series for 86 years, they win 4 in 14, but then have managed to still lose all goodwill just by operating like a poverty franchise.
Yeah.
And especially right now with people are so happy about the Patriots, even the Celtics having a great year with all the injuries. It's like they have lost any goodwill they built up over the last season.
I mean, the Cubs are similar, dude, because if they sign Alex Bregman and they sign some pitching, but if they don't offer Kyle Tucker a deal, we're just going to be in the same spot we were last year with Bregman instead of Tucker, which you could argue is a slightly better, but at the same time, it's the whole reason is because you need bats in your order. If you're getting one bat and you're losing another, it's the same thing that happened with losing Bellinger and then getting Tucker. It's like they need one more person, and they keep getting one person and replacing them or they're losing one and replacing them with another.
No, it's actually incredible. It's like the classic. It's like your dad being like, "Here's your Christmas gift. I got you a bike." It's like, yeah, but didn't you throw my iPad into the water though? Like, well, I don't know what I can tell you. You know, it's like you get something, you give something up, but yet every offseason they can just package this. See, look who we added to the team now.
Right.
But in reality, this is actually a cost-saving move. Like they were probably never going to be able to keep Kyle Tucker. Bregman will cost them about half the money. They still can
offer him a deal, but like Alex Bregman's they're not gonna win a World Series against this Dodger team if they don't get another bat. They need another person, and they just refuse to do it.
But yeah, it's crazy. Finally, one of the big dominoes falling in the baseball offseason. But weirdly enough, players are reporting to spring training in about a month from now, and probably the 10 best players are still unsigned. So I don't know.
I have a recording.
Baseball's a weird sport.
Oh, my bad.
Baseball's weird.
Don't show me the score. Yeah, I mean, the good news is after February 8th, the baseball coverage is going to be all we have.
The NBA
The
exists.
NBA.
The NBA exists.
So I'm gonna have to really delve into some MLB to get up to speed because I don't even know who Bregman is.
Probably. Well, what's funny is that probably all these top guys will still be unsigned by then. Like,
Good.
The new trend has been the top guys will sign during spring training. It'll be like a guy signs a 7-year mega deal either right before the first spring training game or like sometimes a week before the actual season starts. It's a very dumb offseason. And like one thing I've always said the NBA is great about is they keep the excitement going by how quickly the offseason goes. Football's kind of the same way. It's like just a month after the Super Bowl, free agency kicks off. So everyone's talking, player movement, who's going where. The NBA, the finals wraps up in mid to late June. July 1st, guys are on the move going everywhere. Baseball, it's like, oh my God, best World Series ever. That's awesome. Hey, any baseball news? No. It's like enough time passes without it being in the news that people just forget this crap even exists.
Baseball.
Like, it's like the round thing. There's like laces, right? So
I'm just so lasered in on football right now. My brain can't fit any baseball in there.
no, absolutely. But yeah, all in all, ended up being an incredible night for a Chicago fan.
Yeah, dude. Bulls win, Blackhawks win.
Well, no one
Bears
cares
win.
about those, but yeah.
Huh?
I mean, the Bulls. I mean, what are we doing?
It's just they all the teams won, and then the Cubs signed out.
Really, I will never forget this night. The Bulls won a regular season game in
They beat
26.
the Mavericks, dude.
It's
It was-
hilarious. The Bulls win.
Oh, the Bulls won.
Bulls win,
Yeah.
Blackhawks
Yeah, it's like,
win.
guys, like you probably know this podcast about it. We're talking about the Bulls winning.
Yeah,
Right?
Colby White. Oh yeah.
But yeah,
No, what a night. What a week. Again, I
Great
feel like
weekend of football. Probably one of the best wild card weeks in a long time.
when are we going to preview
yeah.
the divisional round?
Hopefully before the games.
that's right.
that would
do
be
that.
ideal.
Yeah.
We'll do it later
Yeah.
this week, and we will
Yeah.
we'll recap the Steelers Texans game from last night. You all know who won, but we're talking about that next episode.
Who do you guys have in that game?
I got Steelers.
Yeah, I got money on the Steelers.
I've got money on the Steelers too.
All right, boys.
All right.
Thanks for
work as
joining.
always.